All right, bookworms, settle in because today we are breaking into a book that is equal parts revolutionary and controversial. Yuval Noah Harari's Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. Well, this does not fit into a love it or hate it situation. So grab on your thinking caps and let's unravel this intellectual roller coaster. So, for those of you who do not know me, I am Shivali, and today we are tackling a huge one because this book promises us to tell the history of our entire species in just few hundred pages. Ambitious, right? Well, that's Sapiens for you in a nutshell. Now, I know many of you must have already read this. A lot of you must have this sitting in your TBR list. Intrigued, but maybe a little intimidated, right? So, I am here to help you and give you my honest, unfiltered thoughts on the good, the thought provoking, and a few things that did not actually sit right with me. So I love the description on the cover of this book. So I'm going to read this for you. Earth is 4.5 billion years old. In just a fraction of that time, one species among countless others has conquered it, us. What makes us brilliant? What makes us deadly? What makes us sapiens? In this bold and provocative book, Yuval Noah Harari explores who we are, how we got here, and where we are going. Sapiens is the thrilling account of our history, from insignificant apes to rulers of the world. Intriguing, right? So let me start with what I actually liked about the book, Sapiens, is that even if you're not a history buff, right, Harari lays out these revolutions, the cognitive, the agriculture, and the scientific one, in such a way that it feels like you are binge watching a very like a documentary or something, right? So he actually has a way of connecting these very distant dots together to provide you with a fresh perspective and a new way to look at who we are, why we are the way we are. For instance, his exploration in the power of shared myths and stories is actually captivating. He argues that our ability to believe in these abstract concepts like nation, corporation, even money is what led us in a great way to this massive cooperation among us and eventually leading to planet dominance. Well, our superpower to be this collective imagination, well, it is fascinating enough. And here, Harari does not shy away from big, uncomfortable, complex questions as well. Well, he here dwells into the ethical implication of these advancements, in especially in the fields of biotechnology and AI. And he makes you think that are we even actually moving in the right direction? Is what we are aiming for or moving towards is sustainable or desirable even? Now, this does not sit well with a lot of us. It does not, but it definitely sparks a start of a conversation. But let's switch the gear a little bit because Sapiens is impressive enough, but it's far from perfect. Because at times I felt that Harari is actually presenting his arguments like an absolute truth rather than led to interpretations, right? His most of his claims are backed up with historical facts, but there were moments where I needed a little deeper dive, little more nuances from the history itself. So, like his portrayal of agricultural revolution is largely in the negative light for the individuals because, as I will tell you, the first chapter of this agricultural revolution actually is named history's biggest fraud. Now, this feels like a little one sided, because where he mentions the increase in workload and decrease in dietary diversity, it was not just that, because these settled societies actually led to advancements in many other areas. So I would have actually liked a balanced view on all of this, and maybe a few more like historical facts here and there. Also, while the book actually explores a huge amount of historical time, it inevitably has to gloss over certain regions and certain time periods, leading into broad generalizations and actually oversimplifying very complex situations. So I would say that it is a strong starting point. It's definitely not the full picture. And even Harari's future speculations are intriguing, but often they come off like as a sci-fi musing more than grounded analysis. So a clearer picture or a line between history and hypothesis would have been presented. I think the book would have been perceived better, the ideas would have been more convincing. So, the final word on Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, well, is it worth the hype or just hype? I would like to say that it is bold, accessible, and offers fascinating insights into human history. It is a strong starting point for curious minds. But it often trades depth for drama, and it feels more speculative at times rather than scholarly. It is definitely not my top pick in this genre, but I would say it's worth reading with a critical eye because it's a great launch pad and not the last word. Have you read Sapiens? What did you think about the conclusion by Harari, or just general idea of the book? Let's talk in the comments below. I would love to hear your perspectives. If you enjoyed watching this history meets philosophy dive, then give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell so that you do not miss the upcoming book reviews.